Selling a home with children seems challenging, but it all starts with creating a good plan with a great realtor. Today we're joined with Kittyanne Latocki with Production Realty. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, you're a longtime realtor and you're just super respected, so I'm surprised we haven't had you here before.
Yeah, thanks. It took us a little bit of coordinating to get here, but I'm glad that we figured it out and worked it out.
Yeah, definitely. You're a busy lady, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so Kittyanne Latocki with Production Realty here in town. We have a brand new office just around the corner. We renovated the old Beaches office bar a couple years ago, so plugging away there, just there now, which has been great for our office and our company in general. But yeah, busy woman indeed. We've got, Ben and I just got married in August, and we've got 5 little girls between us. So we're from 8th grade all the way down to Libby's almost 1 now, so
wow.
It's crazy. So I spend a lot of time with them, running around with them, going to all their sporting events. And then when we can, I like to golf as much as I possibly can. And we like to go experience stuff, go to football games and different concerts, that kind of stuff, as much as we can. So.
Right. Yeah, I follow you on social media. You're amazing in real estate, incredible wife and mother. You have such a fun personality. But yeah, your real estate background is just incredible. How long have you been a realtor?
Going on year 7 now, so
okay.
6 full years in the industry. I got licensed in the fall of 2017, so 6 years. Been with production since 2019. I was with Howard Hanna before that, and it's been fun. It's been busy. I average between 40 and 50 sales each year, and primarily on my own, so I don't have a buyer's agent or any help as far as like no team, as far as that goes. But a wonderful transaction coordinator that I could not be doing any of this without.
Sure.
So, but yeah, real estate's been an incredible thing for myself and for my family.
Yeah,
life
absolutely.
in general has changed, definitely.
Absolutely. You're a remarkable realtor. You guys have a beautiful office here downtown.
Thanks.
And you're the perfect person to be talking to us about this topic, talking to us about selling a home with kids.
Yeah, it can be challenging. So selling your house can definitely be a process, especially when we have kids, but we're gonna start with a plan. We're gonna work through the house. We're gonna declutter as much as we can, try and pare down all that stuff. It's really easy for our homes to get overwhelmed with all of our kid things.
Right.
They've got all the stuffed animals and all the toys and all the bikes and all of the things, So we're gonna pare that back. We're gonna do a really good deep clean. Make sure there's no toothpaste on the walls and years of boogery faces smashed against windows.
Right.
So we're just gonna take a minute and really do a deep clean. And then we're going to figure out where is a safe place for those kids to keep their stuff still, so that when we are entertaining showings, that it makes sense for the buyer and we're not overwhelmed by that kid stuff. Your kids still need to feel comfortable inside the house,
right.
especially when it's on the market and they're getting ready to go through a big change. That can be difficult for kids. So if their stuff just has a place where it belongs, I think it's really easy for buyers to accept that a little bit.
Right.
Like, yeah, of course they do arts and crafts here. It makes sense that there's like paper and crayons and glue and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or they must have a baby. Here's the walker and the bouncer and everything else, So
right.
just having a designated space is helpful for everybody, and it really takes some of that stress out of selling your home.
Yeah, and you were also telling me it's maybe a good idea to neutralize some of the walls if we've got paint colors that are specific to kids.
Yeah, so I feel like, especially when we have a new baby or bringing a new one home, or our kids are transitioning from being young to being old. Little girls love the pinks and the purples and the sparkles and the unicorns and the fairies and all that stuff, or when we're bringing a baby home, maybe you've got a mountain mural painted because you've got a little boy coming home. But yeah, neutralizing those spaces so that a typical buyer can see what it's going to be like for them to be in that room, I think is very, very helpful.
So talk to us next about showings now that we've got the house ready and it's actually on the market.
So we're going to anticipate those showings just a little bit. So we're going to discuss ahead of time before the house does hit the market, how much time do you actually need to prepare and get the house just snuffed up just a little bit so that we can get out the door. So we've already done that. Maybe you need an hour, maybe you need 2 hours, maybe you need 24 because you guys are just that busy. But once we have those showings, I think it's really helpful for the kids to have a go bag or a go box, which means that it has all their favorite things in it. Maybe their blankets in there, their stuffed animals in there. We've got a snack packed in case we need to spend an hour in the car while someone else is touring through our home. But it's really easy. We're just going to grab it off our hook or out of our bedroom, wherever, and we're going to load into the car and get out of town for a little bit. Not out of town, but out of the house for just a little while.
Right.
And we don't want the kids to dread people coming through for a showing. If they've got a go bag with all their favorite things in it, they're going to be ready and anticipating that time in the car.
Yeah, I totally agree. And those could be specific to different people based on their kid's age. So if it's an older kid, maybe it's an electronic or a book. something like that.
Yeah, and if you know you're going to have a handful of showings paired up back to back, it might be a great day to go to the park or hit the fall festival.
Right.
Make a plan to know that we're going to be busy for a couple hours. We're going to be out of the house for a couple hours, so we got to make sure that we're ready for that.
Right. So what about like a small checklist, things people could kind of run through before they leave for a showing? What would you suggest?
Yeah, so I would just hit the bathrooms real quick, make sure those counters are clean and the toilet seats are down, there's no toothpaste on that wall, kids are messy. And if you have small children, diapers maybe, make sure that garbage gets out of the house. We don't want to accidentally forget the smelly diaper in the garbage, just because that will infiltrate the whole home, and that's the last thing we want, is our house to smell bad when a buyer's coming through. So wipe the counters down real quick, definitely hit those bathrooms, take the garbage out if you can, and then make sure the kids' stuff is in that designated space, whether it's their bedroom or their basement, even outside. In our family, we do what's called up and down and out, so they have a designated play area upstairs, downstairs in the basement, or outside. So just button those up really quick before you jump in the car and take off.
So I'm going to take a little bit of a step back for those showings. You were telling me that you really have a strategy that you suggest for your sellers as a listing agent. Talk us through that.
Yeah, so as a listing agent, especially when working with families, I think it's important to list on a Thursday or Friday. That way we can anticipate the showings and that it's going to be a busy weekend, and we can make a plan for the family. We're going to go do something fun. Maybe we're going to go to Great Wolf Lodge or over to Grandma's. We're going to go camping, whatever it is. That way the kids are really excited. You're excited, and the house is going to be in great shape because nobody's ruined it yet. And then when we get back on Sunday after that open house, hopefully we're looking at offers with that right pricing strategy too.
Right. And gosh, maybe you could get an offer that first weekend.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, that would be. It's definitely possible when you've got the right plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is some great information for sellers. Are there any tips that we've forgotten or anything specific that you'd like to touch on?
I think you're right. It starts with a plan. Maybe neutralizing those walls or decluttering the house feels like a really big project for you. And if it does, then just give me a call. Even if we're not listing until next spring, that's okay. We can come through, take a look at what we really need to do, put that plan in action even now, so it doesn't feel quite so overwhelming.
It's really never too early, right?
No, it's never too early to create that plan. I love a plan. Ask my husband. I love a plan, and I think it's just helpful for your whole family if you have one. Selling your house is an exciting time. It's also a really big change. So if we can anticipate some of those needs ahead of time, make sure that the kids are on board with it, get them involved with that selling process. Even now, if we're not looking until next spring or a couple months out, get them involved with the process, and they're gonna be that much more excited when you actually sell and they get to move on to a bigger and better space.
Right, I love that. Well, if buyers or sellers are interested in speaking with you, how can they reach you?
Definitely through our website, just productionrealty.com. I'm on all of the socials, like you said, so it's Kittyanne Latocki. My phone number is 517-745-8768.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's great information for sellers.
Thanks for having me.
And you're so involved in the Jackson Area Association of Realtors. We didn't get a chance to talk about that, but we will next time that you're here.
I like it. Good plan.
Yeah, thanks, Kittyanne.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
If you're looking to sell your home in the near future and you want to create a plan with Kittyanne, give her a call.